good?
Yeah, he's saying go, go, go.
Welcome back to the Acoustic Shop channel. I am John. Hey guys, it is New Guitar Thursday.
Cannonball!
You good?
Yeah, he's saying go, go, go.
You doing the first D string?
You are live.
Like, no. Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. I am Jeremy. It is Takeover Tuesday. If it's Tuesday, it's time to take over. Guys, it was a busy week at NAMM. We had a great time. NAMM 2024 was just bigger than it has been since COVID took over and shut it down for a couple years. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say NAMM is back. NAMMIT. Hashtag NAMMIT. It was a huge event, the loudest I think I've ever experienced. I think partially they were just saying, we're so happy people are here, we're just going to let them be as loud as they want and have fun. Next year I hope they get a little bit more control over that for us acoustic-centric folks, because it was a little too hard to function, not to let alone actually hear the instruments we were wanting to try out. So yeah, NAMM was a great event. We were glad we were out there. I know live streaming was very difficult. We come back here very frustrated that we can't control the network of Disney and the Anaheim Convention Center, but we've got plans for next year, a way to do a little bit more of that. The reason we want to do live, guys, we'll talk about this some more, I'm sure, in the future. We want you guys to be able to interact. We're going to NAMM as your representatives. We're going to be there for you guys to be able to talk to the booths that we're going to visit. You can ask questions. You can ask us if we bypassed an instrument that you wanted more details on. Hey, turn around, go back to that guitar. I'd love to see what that's all about. So that's why we're doing the live streaming. There's not too many people doing it because it is so difficult to do lives. You know, we do it here at the shop all the time, a little bit more controlled environment here, a lot less network traffic. But it's something that I think is worth the effort. We're going to keep trying it. We've got plans to make next year a little bit more stable. We're actually talking with NAMM too about finding a way of getting that a little bit more stable, because I know they want to push the influencer crowd there to really get the word out about what's happening at NAMM. And I think it's fun. I only got to do a couple of them. Next year, that's another thing, is I'm going to split the duties with John because he was worn out. But I thought it was fun to be able to answer you guys live and say, hey, tell me more about this close mandolin. Tell me more about the new guitars. You know, any details you guys want, we can do that live on the spot. If we just film it and then upload it later and you had a question, it's too late. We couldn't go back and ask them. So that's why the effort.
Coming in.
Yes, that's again. If you guys please tell us where you're watching from. Janelle is monitoring, and she's going to pass along any questions or comments you have for us.
The first one, I think it was supposed to be close. They put, what was the Kilos mandolin a pro replacement, or is it not woofy enough to replace my callings?
It's not, again, it was really hard to hear. And I said that in the video. I was sitting there with my ear next to it. In the video, the mics were distorted because we were yelling and playing loud. They got rid of a lot of the background noise that you guys didn't really get to detect. We should have just set a recorder in the middle of the room and see if it caught all that. But just the overall ambient noise there, and they had amps blaring, it was just very loud. So I'm playing that thing as loud as I could next to my ear. It's got a really deep, a little bit on the more hollow side than you would have in your callings. Callings project really well, and they got like this really tight crispness. Again, in that noise, I couldn't really tell for sure, but it's not quite that responsive. It's going to be, I wouldn't say it's going to replace, you know, a $8,000 to $10,000 Collings mandolin in any regard. Those things are just fantastic instruments. But it is meant to be that safe travel instrument. A lot of people don't want to take that Collings if they're going on a flight, if they're going to jam at some festival, or they know it's going to be cold outside. That's where a full carbon fiber mandolin is kind of something the market's been clamoring for. They said they've already got 400 pre-orders. So they did every launch they've done a GoFundMe. This one they pretty much just went directly to the mandolin market. I know Mandolin Cafe, a lot of people made their pre-orders. So I think they said they got about 400 pre-orders of that, which shows you there's a demand for it out there. But it's not meant, I don't think, to replace your professional level wood mandolin. So I wouldn't go out and sell your Collings in anticipation of getting a new carbon fiber mandolin. But it's a great travel option that you're not too worried about damaging that beautiful instrument of yours.
What are the mandos with the swirly logo to the left of the frying pan mandolin behind you?
These. That is the Ortega Mandolins. These are kind of we are always looking for the best cost-effective instrument. And I say that because even with the Eastman MD304s, you guys know how much I love those. Those come in at $630. So a lot of people are like, I'm interested in the mandolin, but I don't think I could put out that kind of money. Is there a good alternative? And we have to say, well, be cautious of this and that, and look out for what you're getting. These are a really good starter option. Tonally, they're not going to compare. We've talked a lot about fit and feel of the bridge. The bridge doesn't fit real well to the top. It's those little things that really add a lot of cost to an instrument. But this beats most of the alternatives we found out there. We want to carry stuff that is a good option for people just starting out in that budget range. This is at $349 for the F-style mandolin. Their A-style comes in at, again, this is Ortega. The A-style comes in at $199. So this is really that person's like, I think I might like the mandolin, but I'm not sure how much, or my kid's interested, but I'm not sure how much. Not a bad tone. Playability's pretty good. So it's not going to compete on tone and setup to the Eastman, but for a very affordable alternative, that's why we got these in here. We want to make sure that there's not a bar to entry for anybody that's wanting to discover mandolin. And really, I know if it was like a hobby for me, putting out $629 on something I wasn't sure about, I probably wouldn't do, but there's a big difference there. Same thing goes for golf clubs. I was really interested in golfing. I wouldn't have went out and bought me a nice set of Titleist clubs, except a buddy of mine, he actually had some custom made to, and that was Warren Goad for all you fans out there of the Village Singers. He went out and got a custom set made. He's a lot taller than I am, but he decided he didn't like golf, so I bought his set. Got a really nice set, but I probably would have went out and got the least expensive Rawlings and then hated the game. I'm not a big fan of the game, and that's because I can't play well. But I understand why it may be it would bar people from entering the mandolin world to say, well, you're going to have to come up with at least $630 to experience it. I think these are a really good alternative for that. Any other comments or questions so far?
I don't think we have any right
All right, let's talk about a few things we saw at NAMM this year. One of them I had on this last mandolin that I had up here that I'm very excited about. Peterson Tuners, guys. We've always been a fan of those. I've loved those guys forever, the quality of tuners they came out with. And they just released the clip-on rechargeable tuner. This is their new HDTC or HDC tuner. New, brighter display, larger display. Much easier to see. You can change the colors on it. But the big thing is it's rechargeable now, and that's one of the things that would haunt a lot of musicians that always has to carry around the 2032 battery, the watch batteries, just to make sure they had a spare one on hand. This is going to be rechargeable with just standard USB, micro USB, and then is it USB-C? USB-C, even better. And they have a speed charge on there, so if you do get to a gig, it's like, I forgot to charge it, it's dead. 10 minutes will get you 1 hour, so that gets you through that show. And then if you fully charge it, I think it's like 8 to 16 hours of runtime on that.
What can you tell us about the Bourgeois Prototype that you played on stage?
I'm not sure what I'm allowed to tell, so I'll tell you everything. I'll err on the side of revealing everything. No, it is, Dana is somebody that's always trying to do something new and investigate why things won't work or ways to make it work. So we know Eastman does a really good job with varnish instruments, but one of the hardest things about varnish, and I know Gibson's talked about this before too, is it's a much more sensitive finish. So especially when you're shipping those instruments from overseas, they get kind of like this haze to them in the case. And one way Eastman's kind of combated that is they've done kind of the antique varnish. It's not going to look like that beautiful Lloyd Loar quality varnish. Dana really wants that beautiful, it's almost a French polished look to the varnish. So he's working on ways of making that work, and they're coming up with new techniques for the drying process so that it dries it properly before it ever ships. Varnish takes a long time to dry normally, but they're looking at, he's telling me some new heaters that they're investigating and testing, and this was one of the prototypes. I gotta say, I love varnish finished look, and I think it makes a big difference in the tone of the instrument. It just lets that wood just completely resonate without any resistance at all from the finish. So I'm pretty excited about that. The one he gave me as a prototype that I could use for the weekend was a monster mandolin. I know we got a fantastic opportunity to play with Jens Kruger, the incomparable banjo player, and he was in love with that mandolin. He's like, man, that is a great instrument. Can I get one of those? So Jens is looking for one of those mandolins as well. great job, Dana, on that prototype. I can't wait till they get the actual final one. He said they're still working out some of those processes to make sure it's every one of them that get off the line is going to be incredible. I'm looking forward to that.
Can I buy your mandolin book yet?
I went by the Hal Leonard booth and I took photos of the display of all of the books that is in the series that I'm doing, except for mine. Mine's not there this year, but and also the guy that was editing my book was not there either. So they said reach out to him via email. So I don't even have an update for you guys. I thought I'd leave NAMM with an update on when those were going to be available, but it was a no-go. I was going to see if I could find that photo. There we go. Can you get that? It is the Do-It-Yourself series. And they've got all these really cool do-it-yourself guitar, trombone, violin, bass guitar, ukulele, banjo, tenor, sax. I mean, they've got the gamut, and mandolin is conspicuously missing there. So that is the book I did, the Do-It-Yourself Mandolin book. As far as I know, it's still in progress. I hope it comes out soon because I forget what I even wrote in it now. So I'm going to read it to relearn how to play the mandolin. So you cannot buy it yet, but as soon as you do, you know we will make a big announcement about it here. I don't know if that was Tex that asked that, but...
Not this time, I don't think.
All right, well, if anybody interested in that, we will let you know as soon as that is available. So yeah, the Peterson Tuner, we don't have these in stock yet. They're going to ship these to us, but they gave us these to, actually, I went to the show and didn't have one to perform with, so I went by the booth and said, hey, can I borrow a tuner? And we've been endorsed artists by Peterson for a long time, and also the shop, they work with us as a sponsor, so they just said, I'll go ahead and take one of those. Great tuner. I love these so much. We're going to do a full review on these and kind of a walkthrough on how to use a strobe tuner to your advantage. Some people get frustrated with them because they're a little bit more complex than a standard like Snark, but the most accurate tuner I've ever found, and these have all those cool voicings and sweeteners so that you can get it dialed into your instrument.
If you had to pick one song that made you think of your brothers, what song would it be?
Woe is me. No. I don't know. That's too philosophical to think. Oh, brother, where art thou? I don't know. I play with those guys so much that pretty much any time I hear any bluegrass music, I think of those guys and the way we would play it together probably. So instinctually, I just think, oh, Jason would have done this bass run on that, or John would have messed up this G run. That's a good joke there. What else do we see at NAMM? Mandolins were very lacking. Collings had 2 of them. So we went by the Collings booth. They had 2 mandolins, an F-style and an A-style. Both really good mandolins. Again, it's so hard to hear there, but I did play the F-style for quite a while, and it was a beast, as Collings always are. I went by the Saga booth. They have like Kentucky's and I forget what other brand they have. And again, I just couldn't get a good sampling of it. We're going to see if there's a way that we can get in before show hours a little bit more so we can get better audio next year. We're going to twist arms and grease palms and do whatever we can to make sure we can get in before all the noise begins. So even just personally to be able to hear those instruments was very difficult. Another question?
Yes. Do you have a price on the new Peterson tuner?
I don't. I think they're going to be the same price, maybe a little bit more. They've got to be a little bit more for the rechargeable, I think. So I don't have that yet. This was a brand new thing at the show. They are sending us a price list, and then I know we have some of these on order already. They were kind of frantically waiting to get them in right before the NAMM show. There's another good reason. People ask, is the NAMM show relevant? Do we need the NAMM show? There were so many manufacturers, including Close, including Peterson, and Santa Cruz, that got product ready for the show. It's kind of that deadline. It's kind of that deadline to say, all right, I have to have my product, Peterson tuner, launched by the show. I know Martin had their big launch. It gives these guys kind of a goalpost. It's like, we better be ready by NAMM. It's coming up soon. So that's another good reason to have these kind of conventions where it really makes these product designers get their act together. I know there was kind of a lull there where there wasn't anything new and exciting coming out when there wasn't the convention. And a few of them even said it's just not having that pressure of that goalpost that kept them from doing anything new. So this was a brand new thing right before the show, as well as that Close mandolin. So we don't have pricing on that yet, but we will soon. I know we're going to have this in the shop, I'd say within the next couple weeks.
What information do you have on the Eastman E1 Parlor?
The Eastman E1 Parlor, that's probably one of those questions for John. I wasn't even, actually I was in the booth that day when John was doing the walkthrough, but I was over there talking to Dana about what instruments we were borrowing for the show. So I don't have a lot of information on the E1 Parlor. That'll be a question for John on New Guitar Thursday, or maybe Shop Talk tomorrow. Ask him that again. Sorry, can't help you there.
How do we collectively take over the world with mandolins?
That is a good question, and if you go to the NAMM show, we've got a lot of work to do, folks, because guitars galore, even acoustic guitars, I thought were very well represented. We spent our in like every waking moment, walking from one acoustic guitar builder to the next, and really some cool stuff out there. Very little mandolins. I'd count maybe 8 to 10 mandolins across the entire show that I found. There were some like pretty really off-brand models that didn't even look worth trying out. But I mean, for a serious mandolin, options were very lacking, which tells me we've got a long ways to go on taking over the world. But I think Chris Thiele could be our leader, and Sam Bush. I'll follow those guys.
What mandolin were you ripping on in that crowd, or in that video in front of the big crowd? I think
That was the Bourgeois mandolin. So Dana had loaned us those instruments. We performed on Thursday out on the big stage out in the plaza. We performed that day, carried those instruments around with us all day long, and then we went out to dinner with Eastman and Bourgeois, and we didn't want to leave those in a car in a neighborhood we weren't familiar with outside of LA or Anaheim. So we're like, we better bring these in the restaurant with us. While we were waiting on our seats, the guy said, hey, why don't you pull out the instruments? And the funny thing is we were just goofing off, and all of a sudden this crowd gathered around us when we were busking. We put our cases out and just to see if we can collect some money, help pay for our NAMM trip. But it was just for fun. That was the Bourgeois varnished mandolin I had. Oh, we got these, and I haven't even got to see these guys. Hind mandolins, and we got one guitar and 2 mandolins. Is that right, Cory?
One guitar, one A style, one F style.
Okay, one guitar, one A style, one F style, Hind mandolins. I love that we didn't even know these were coming, and they just arrived while we're gone. And I haven't even got over to the shop yet to try these out. But this is a beauty right here. I love that burst on that. The finish looks gorgeous.
Since Cory's here right now, we
Look
also
at that
have somebody
striping on
asking
the back.
if we're going to add a new show featuring Cory.
We need to. Cory did a great job while we were in the airport. I was watching it. We were stuck.
Me off of those TP questions. I don't know what to say.
We were stuck in Salt Lake City on a big delay on our flight, and I was watching Takeover Tuesday with Cory, and I stumped him with which direction should the TP roll go. It's got to go over the top. I'm sitting there searching for it around the back of it, and it gets frustrating. But yeah, I think we should do a Cory goes around different locations to see where the toilet paper always falls. And where in the world is Cory? The TP search. Well, this is a monster. What's that? Chop. Great job, Stephen. Yeah. It's got a bit of a satin finish on the back for the speed neck, but it's not. He still did this really nice burst on that, so it's not like he just removed the finish from it. It's just got a really smooth feel to it. It's not a full speed neck feel, but I like that a lot. I think this might be the finest hind mandolin we've had in here. Stephen keeps getting better and better. Very cool. So that's exciting. The guys here at the shop, Cory told me these arrived, and yesterday was just kind of playing catch up all day long. And I was in the office, answering emails and getting all the stuff figured out that I had let fall behind while we were gone at NAMM. So I didn't even get over to the shop to try these, and then I started teaching before I got a chance to try this out. This is a monster mandolin. Can't wait to try the A style out.
That's
Anything
also
else?
the one that I did for Tonewood Tuesday today.
All right, Tonewood Tuesday, this was the featured mandolin for that. I got some students that were very excited about my my lick to impress your friends with. So if you guys haven't seen the Tik Tok or YouTube short, I did a little lesson on how to do the a lick that sounds much more difficult than it is. It's all about just getting the timing of your 2 hands together. And you just sit there and I should have done that at the busking outside of the restaurant. Everybody went, wow, what's he doing? You can play like the hardest things and feel like, I don't get it. And then you do something like that and you're like, oh my goodness, listen to that. It's called flash. But if you haven't got a chance to listen to that, I stole that from Sam Bush on his Glamour and Grits album, did a song called Stingray. Pretty good, that whole. Really cool intro for that. You got to listen to it. I'm sure it's on YouTube if you haven't got the album. But yeah, this is an excellent mandolin. I'm going to have to call Steven up and say, way to go, give me 10 more of those. And this one just came in. This is at $89.99.99. So 1 penny under $9,000, guys. So if that was your goal, or if that was your threshold that you had to stay under there, this mandolin's going to do it.
How about a Doyle Lawson lick today?
Doyle Lawson lick. See, that was one of my favorite Doyle Lawson licks. He would do like a. So it's kind of built out of your chord. Get in here, Trent. Right up close here. So an A would be that you're starting on the low A. If you're in B, it's the same. C or D. Yeah, I would finish out a solo like that, like a. That's one of my favorite Doyle Lawson licks. Another question?
We have someone asking how much for the Peterson.
I don't think we got pricing on that yet, do we? If Hinckley, if you're over there, look up and see if you can get any pricing on the new Peterson rechargeables. It is the Strobo Clip HDC for the chargeables. It's a brand new product, so I don't think we've got a price list on these yet. But yeah, it's going to be worth it. I've had their last Strobo Clip probably 8 years or so. Love the tuner, lasts forever. And they've got these voicings on them. The cool thing now, it seems like you can actually set a color to the sweetener that you have. So you can have a mandolin blue, a guitar green, and just kind of swap back and forth those, you know which sweetener you're on. Sweeteners, in case you're not familiar, you can get a, which Peterson is totally, probably the most accurate tuner to get you exactly what the cents are that your string is supposed to be. And that the pitch of a note is measured in cents, and 440 would be like a standard A, and they can get you right in there within like the, I think, 100th or 1,000th of a cent, 100th of a cent to a 440. But to have an instrument when you strum all the notes together, actually for those strings to harmonize with each other well, sometimes you actually have to tune them a few cents or a few cents sharp or flat of what they are by themselves should be to get them to harmonize nicely. And James Taylor did a long video about this, how he actually detunes his guitar. I think they even have the James Taylor sweetener in there. But same thing with mandolins. Two things it does. One, it tells it what frequency to be looking for. A lot of the other tuners have trouble because some of these, like a high E string, is not looking for an E in that range. It's looking for an E in the standard guitar range, or vice versa. You know, like on a bass, a giant upright bass, it's not noticing that low E string. And this, if you set that sweetener, it's telling it, all right, look for it in this range, kind of ignore all those overtones. But then it's also helping it to tune all the strings so that they play together in a nice, harmonious way.
Are you thinking of selling the humidity trackers since D'Addario quit making them?
Good question. Yes, we are. We didn't initially plan on it because we got those for our Dreadn program, which was still in beta right now. So far, we've been getting great response for that, and everything's looking good with that, the way that's going. We got a new shipment of those humidity trackers. It's a hygrometer and a thermometer Bluetooth device. I've been using the one on my phone. It seems to be working. The app is not perfect. It has some of the things where the text gets overlaid on top of other text. I wish we had our own app designer that could take care of that for us. But doing its tool, when you click on each, because you can have like 8 or 10 different instruments in there, and you can set a photo with it to say, hey, this is my hind mandolin that I'm tracking here. When you click on it, it gives you the full current humidity and temperature, as well as a historic history of where it was. So if it ever got too cold or too humid, it'll show you when you got these flash points. It sets, you can set thresholds, and it'll send you a push notification to say, hey, your instrument is in the danger zone that you notified us you want to be aware of. So it seems to be working really well. We're going to have to come up with pricing for retail pricing on those, but we should have those probably, I think the goal is to have those up by the end of the week, because we have had people asking about those, including some of the folks that got one free with their instrument purchase for the Dreadn program, which was the original intent with those. They want to get some secondary devices for their other instruments. So good question, yes, and I think with D'Addario's humidity track off the market, there may be some demand for that. And the newest one's got our logo now printed on each humidity track. So I can't quit playing this. It's a beautiful instrument.
How was the hashtag NAMMIT seminar?
Seminar went great, guys. We did an hour-long seminar on YouTube content creation for your business as a way to help get your business awareness out there. Jason did an incredible job coming up with the slide deck. I was just going to start using PowerPoint and just kind of dropping images in there, and it looked very, very generic. And Jay's like, stand back, let me handle this. And he put together this presentation that even the guys at NAMM said, man, you guys' presentation looked wonderful, and I agree it did. The content in it went really well. After the end of the seminar, the lady that kind of checked you in said, man, you guys killed it on that one. And John says, what does that mean? How do you kill it on a seminar on YouTube videos? And she said, well, we track how many people were sitting in the audience, and you guys didn't lose anybody the whole way. And it was very well attended. Every seat was full. So that was, thank you guys so much for attending that, and thank you, NAMM, for letting us be a part of the event. We went to NAMM for, I give a lot of credit for where our business is today to those NAMMU seminars that we sat through, because there was stuff on how to purchase inventory, how to manage your inventory, running your retail software, all those things. They do all these great seminars at NAMM. It's something that a lot of retailers can take a lot of advantage of. So we were glad that we were able to we have something we had of value that we could share with the other retailers there.
Will the TAS be included in the Dreadn program?
It should, yeah. It's any instrument that is over $1,000 currently is in the beta program. Going forward there, we may change that threshold, but right now anything over $1,000 you will be getting automatic enrollment in the Dreadn program, which would give you that 30-day trial period where you can try out the instrument, make sure it's the right one for you. Within that window, if you return it, you would just have the shipping costs that you'd be responsible for. Also, the one-year trade-up program where you'll get up to 90% of the value of the purchase price of your instruments, not even of the resale value, but the 90% of your original purchase price can be credited towards another instrument. If you're one of those people that keep them in pristine condition, you can count on getting 90% back. And of course, the Humidity, or I can't say Humidity, that's trademark. The Bluetooth hygrometer thermometer. We should come up with a clever name. Guys, give us your name submissions for our Acoustic Shop Bluetooth hygrometer thermometer. Something a little shorter than that. That was a good title, but I need something a little more concise than the Acoustic Shop. The Acoustic Shop Dreadn program Bluetooth thermometer hygrometer. There's got to be some kind of short acronym. Somebody come up with an acronym for that. But yeah, you get that in there. We got new polishing cloths that are on their way. We're getting printed and customized polishing cloths for the Acoustic Shop. So working on really trying to make that program something that we can show you guys. We really appreciate your business, and we want you to have the best experience when you open up that brand new instrument.
Someone's asking, are you going to show us the Gibson?
Show us the Gibson. Would that be the 1923? That's next door, guys. Right? We haven't got that all pulled out yet. So I can't show you that yet. We may be playing that tomorrow on the live stream, but I think I'm going to be playing this tomorrow too. This is an incredible mandolin. Way to go, Steven. That back is gorgeous. And
Somebody suggested call it a moist meter.
a moist meter? That sounds a little...
Acoustic track.
A moist. The word moist always bothered me. It's just kind of one of those words. Things feel moldy and sticky.
TAS widget thingy.
The TAS widget thingy. I like it. I imagine the majority of our watchers don't remember it, but I grew up with some cartoon called Widget the World Watcher, and there's this blue alien that helped protect the environment. So maybe we'll call it something along those lines. Widget the Instrument Watcher. Anyway, guys, I got to show you one more thing. I'm going to put this mandolin back real quick. Something else you could be excited about getting in your order from the Acoustic Shop that you can get nowhere else, and I can guarantee you nobody else is going to include this in their shipments because it's our stickers. We got two new stickers Jason made up. One, I like a whole bunch. That's the new TAS, the Acoustic Shop. It's got the mandolin and guitar headstock outline logo, and instead of the long Acoustic Shop, we're kind of getting known by the TAS acronym. We're tasking it right here, guys. That would look great on your guitar case. And then also these cute little As Seen on TV for the Ozark Music Shop. That's the TV show that we also produce. It's on our local CBS affiliate, but also on YouTube, guys. We have another channel on YouTube called the Ozark Music Shop. I think we're going to be starting to bring some of those episodes over onto the Acoustic Shop channel. Originally, we were keeping those very separate because they scared us at the network, saying that, oh, we have to make sure you have a different name for the TV show than you do your business. Otherwise, you can get sued for being an advertisement on television without paying for public advertising. So we kept the Ozark Music Shop as the name of the TV show. It had its own channel. On YouTube, we're allowed to kind of combine both of those. So you'll be seeing those some of those on our channel. And guys, thank you so much. 30,000 subscribers now on our YouTube channel. That is huge. I know it was just over a year ago that we were like so excited that we hit that 10,000 subscriber mark, and that was in 2022. And it took us 8 years to get to 10,000 subscribers, and all of a sudden we've shot up to 30,000 within that next year. It's just crazy. Thank you guys so much for the support on that. TikTok is just crazy. I don't know what's going on there. Janelle keeps coming up with more crazy stuff to put on guitars, and the people are eating it up. So I can't wait to see what they come up with next on that. Liz and Janelle, I'm sure I'm working up
We
something.
do have one filmed.
We're all getting permanent tattoos.
I'm going to hold up to that. Corey just announced if we get to 100,000, is there like a time frame? Or is this, if this happens in the next 10 years, we can still count on you?
Do a time frame. End of year.
End of year. If we hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of year, Corey said we're all getting permanent tattoos of the Acoustic Shop. That logo right there on our foreheads. Let's not go that far. Something could take off, Corey, and then you're going to be committed to this. I'm going to hold him to it.
I have
And
a question.
I get to
real
pick
quick.
where you get the tattoo.
Somebody wanted to hear the Hind A style mandolin.
I want to hear it too. I haven't played that one yet either. Where is it?
Might still be next door.
Of course it is. You guys teased me. Corey, is the A style next door, the A style hind?
Yes, should still be, yeah.
Okay.
We could bring it over. We have the hind Dreadnought, though, on the wall to your right.
To my right, my other right.
Or it was right here. Yep. That guitar sounds great.
Things just keep moving in this shop.
It's actually, actually a really crazy thing about that guitar is he includes an Elliott capo with it.
Really?
Yeah.
So Steven is always kind of going way out. I know the mandolin case, does that come in, what do you remember what that case
So
is?
the F style came in with a Hoffy. The A style came with a Superior.
So the F style hind mandolin came with a Hoffy carbon fiber case, and those are like an $800 to $1,000 case. Corey said this Dreadnought comes with an Elliott capo. So Steven's definitely wanting to make sure you feel you're getting, which already with him being a hand-built small boutique builder, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck, but he wants to make sure that you really definitely feel that value. Wow. I need to learn some new licks, guys. Every time I pick up, do you guys have a signature lick that when you pick up your instrument you do? It's just like habit that I'll just do. It's like my show. It's like my. That's my show-off lick for the guitar. There you go. Trent, what is your signature lick? We should do a. That should be our YouTube next YouTube or one of those shorts. Is everyone in the shop does their signature lick? Some Tom Brumley licks. I steal Walter Brumley licks. Here's the A-style hind. Ask and ye shall receive. Ask and Hinkley shall deliver.
This mandolin's burst is awesome on this one. This
It's
A-style.
bursting with excitement.
Did anyone have an octave mandolin at NAMM?
No, they didn't have anything, guys. I'm telling you. I think Saga had kind of a. They might have had an octave there, but I didn't see no Northfields were at NAMM, which I don't think they've attended NAMM. Nope, there was just the only one would have been Eastman octaves. They had those there.
Need to get it on.
Yeah, that's a big mandolin too. Wow, look at that back on there. One-piece back. That looks like a one-piece back. That's awesome. This side really kind of has that burled maple look to it. A little bit more striped on that side. Very cool. His necks are all a little bit bigger. So for me, being used to that sandbush model, it feels pretty comfortable, but I know a lot of guys that are used to that smaller F5 neck profile. They're very deep on the back, so the thickness from the front fretboard to the back of the neck, a little deeper than normal. Width feels like probably that 1 3/8, a little bit wider nut width on them too. Real comfortable for me. It also kind of tapers up to a little bit bigger as you get towards the body of the mandolin. I'm really impressed, Steven. These three are some of the best instruments I think we've gotten. That's awesome. They keep getting better. And every builder I've talked to, that is just the case, is that you learn from the last one and you learn from the one after that. Everyone should be better than the last because you just learn a little bit more skills. I guess just about like anything else you do.
Can we hear the Larrivee 040R?
Where is it? Where is it? I don't know. Anybody know where a Larrivee is around here? Anybody seen a Larrivee? I think it might be out on the rack out there. You guys got to ask for stuff. Is it one that we got here? I don't know what guitars we have here. You guys put me on the spot. So we got out here. We got a Martin, we got a Boucher, a Gibson, one of those Maestro. Do we have a Larrivee?
The kind of used tree for a little
Nice.
bit. The Boucher is just sitting there right now because we need to free up some space in the seat.
Do we have a Larrivee in shop? Somebody asked for a Larrivee. Okay. Thanks, Cory. You need to be my co-host. You need to get mic'd up.
We got the 040R. So
Is that the one you
small
want to see? The
body,
040? That's what they wanted to see.
And then the 12 fret dreadnought, and then the standard dreadnought.
Larrivee did have a booth at NAMM. I know John went by there and visited him with him for a while. So this definitely has that smaller body sound and feel to it. But I kind of, we've talked about this before. Every instrument kind of makes you approach your playing a little bit differently. So you can definitely see this one kind of feeling a little void, especially if you're used to that giant guitar dreadnought sound and feel. Comfort-wise, feels great. Like I would love to just have this sit next to the couch just to sit on and tinker around on and write songs. Very cool. Yeah, they did another one of our John's favorite guitars at NAMM, and we went by Larrivee booth. We did this year. Did it a little bit different. We did under 1,000, under 3,000, then over 5,000 for favorite instruments at the NAMM show. I'm sure they're frantically editing the footage from that one. We didn't have to worry about the live stream connections for that, so we actually filmed that. So we should be getting some great quality instruments to showcase on that as well. I can't wait till that comes out. Man, it was just, I'm still kind of punch drunk from the whole event because it was just nonstop, including the travel out there. We flew to Atlanta, then to Salt Lake City, and then over to Ontario, California, which at first I was really nervous that I messed up when I booked the flight because Ontario CA, which a lot of people abbreviate Canada as CAN, so I was worried that I booked a flight to Canada and we would totally miss the NAMM show there, but I'm sure we would have had a great time. That's what you thought at first? Make sure you're up on your passports. No, it was a great time out there. We got a really, 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 really cool guitar coming from Bedell. Their Ancient Sitka is just gorgeous instrument. They're going to take it back to the shop, just make sure they wouldn't let hardly anyone touch it because it is so beautiful, but they still want to make sure they get it back up to the shop and make sure everything's perfect about it before they ship it to us. But we are going to do some great content on that. It's the last of their Ancient Sitka, which if you haven't heard about it, they found there was a guy that had a logging company. They were going to relocate a hillside to basically build a new, I think part of their mill there. And so they were tearing down the dirt and overflow from the mountainside there and came across this log in frozen tundra. I think it's somewhere, it might have been in Canada. But anyway, it was basically frozen tundra, and this thing had been frozen and preserved deep within the mountainside there. When they uncovered it, the logger obviously instantly saw, hey, this is a piece of spruce from about 4,000 years ago. And so they went in there, and the wood procurer for Bedell went up there when they were milling it and she said it was incredible. They would slice it, and instantly when they slice, take a little slice out of it, it's this beautiful white Sitka, but in front of your eyes, you could just see it turn gray, this like almost bluish gray color, and that's just all the mineral content in it oxidizing right as soon as oxygen got exposed to it. It was just an incredible experience for her, she said, and you can see that in the wood. It has like this sparkle to it, where that mineral content inside of the ancient Sitka, it just sparkles. It just makes this beautiful color to it, and the tone is very impressive. Can't wait to get that guitar in here. It is a one of a kind. It was their ultimate showpiece that they've built, and they were very proud of it. So very, very lucky that we got to be. They actually did a lottery for that. There were 12 of their top acoustic dealers were in the lottery. I think they did a live drawing of it at their NAMM booth. That we were on our way home on Sunday and got the call that we had won that guitar. So that's very exciting. Can't wait to do some video content on that and get it in the hands of some lucky owner. Is going to be something that someone is going to cherish for a lifetime. I think that about covers it for our Takeover Tuesday. Tomorrow we're going to do Shop Talk, where we will play music and talk. I'm going to have those hind mandolins. I have John probably play a couple of those hind guitars. Should have that 1923 with us as well. Tune in tomorrow at noon for Shop Talk. It is going to be a lot of fun. We got some new stuff we'll be talking about from NAMM, the Iris guitars that John tried out. Close guitars. We got, I think May is when they said they think they're going to be shipping to us. April is when they're going to start fulfilling their pre-orders.
I have a question if we have any update about Weber's.
Any update on Weber's? No, we talked a bit with Tom. Tom, who owns Two Old Hippies, the old owner of Weber Mandolins. He's the one that kind of got Ryan started off on it. Ryan called me about 3 weeks ago and said we should be getting it by the end of January, early February. So I'm going to hold him to it. Ryan, if you're watching, I'm waiting. I want that mandolin. So yeah, we're hoping to get that in here. The mandolin world needs more mandolins, and we're counting on you, Ryan. Yeah, don't let us down. We'll let you guys know as soon as we do have word on Weber mandolins, because I'm pretty excited about that.
Can you leave us with some words of wisdom?
Words of wisdom: don't take any wooden nickels, and you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, and so forth. No, if you get a chance to attend the NAMM show, guys, as a guest, you should do it. It is an experience. It is incredible. Also, if you feel that somebody online is going through a lot of trouble to bring live content to you, carrying around a backpack that probably weighed 130 pounds with batteries and camera equipment, and things outside of their control, like bit rates and whatnot, are collapsing around their feet, don't hate on them. Guys, they're trying. They did a lot to try to bring you live content, and the system let us down. The Matrix crashed on us, and we were just as, I bet we were more disappointed than you guys were. We don't need to hear it, but thank you anyway for your great tips and satellite vans that you think we should be bringing with us around the world. It's just slightly outside of our budget. At 30,000, when we get to the 100,000 subscribers, we'll have those satellite vans, and the uplink will be incredible, and we'll have no problems. I've never seen an NFL game during the most important play lose signal. That's never happened. But anyway, thank you for your kind words of encouragement, folks. No, we do appreciate all the ones that did defend us from the haters out there. I believe there's a football player's girlfriend that said haters are going to hate, and we'll let them continue to do that. But we'll see you guys tomorrow. I think that's about it for my words of wisdom. Be kind. If you don't like somebody's live stream, just be kind. They're trying. They're really trying to bring you good stuff, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow at Shop Talk, and let's see if we can stay live. We'll check the bit rate tomorrow.